On the one hand, we talk about the courage, the grit of our para athletes. And on the other hand, we have a shocking story today where a young girl is denied permission, denied access to the schools of her city. I'm Barkha Dutt. You're with the Mojo story. Today, we're bringing you the story of Hope. She's 12 years old and she's quite literally full of hope. She's won many laurels for India, showed grit, determination, a never say die spirit. And despite all of this, to the shock and horror of her family, she found that in Dehradun, she was basically unable to get a place in the schools that she sought a spot for herself in. How did this happen? Why did it happen? It even led to her family being forced to relocate. This is quite simply unacceptable. And to bring you the human story behind the headline, let's go across now to 12-year-old Hope and her mother, Shilpi, who are joining us on this program today. And I want to say thank you to both of you, mother and daughter, for sharing your story with us. Hope, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got so interested in athletics. We're seeing those amazing images. You're a para athlete. When did you actually decide to embrace sport, first of all? Hope?
Um, my name is Hope. I'm 12 years old and I play two sports, wheelchair racing and wheelchair tennis.
Okay. And how many years have you been doing this, Hope?
3 years.
3 years. Now, Shilpi, what exactly happened with the schools? As it is, of course, there are challenges that come with being a parent to a specially able child, and literally encouraging them to never give up hope. What happened with the schools? Tell us.
Ma'am, we belong to Dehradun, both me and my husband. This is a journey since we have started her seeking admission in grade LKG. So that time also we were denied admissions in couple of schools in Dehradun, and then we had to ask help from our parish priest because we belong to a minority and minority schools cannot say no to their minority child, so we had to ask our parish priest to come in and help us in getting her admitted. So that's how we got admitted in one of the schools in Dehradun. But school was not accessible. She was, every day she was hand lifted from the car to the class, which was not fair for her. Growing up child will not like in front of her peers hand lifted every day and taken to the class. So just one fine day, me and my husband, we decided that we'll move out of Dehradun, and we moved to Delhi, Gurgaon basically. So there everything was very nice. The school is very supportive. The school where she is going is very supportive, and everything is just fine. But this year we wanted to come back to Dehradun as we belong to Dehradun, and from 3 years, Hope has been training for her sports. So because in Delhi the distance is so much that the training time becomes less and travel time becomes more. So we thought we rather shift to Dehradun for 2-3 years, and she will train here. Uh, so first thing comes is school admission. So we came to Dehradun and we started going to schools. One school to the another school. We kept running from school to school, and school kept telling us that school is not accessible. They do not have infrastructure
So you're
for. Yeah.
basically saying none of the schools that you went to were actually sort of accessible for the specially abled.
Yes, ma'am.
And
That's.
And what does that result in? One of the examples you gave was that Hope had to be hand lifted and taken to
Yes.
the classroom. What are the
Yes.
other sort of difficulties that this would translate into? Imagine
So
going to the bath, even going to the bathroom, etc., would be a problem, I guess.
absolutely, definitely. So, for school, we had to put her in diaper because washrooms are not accessible, and by CBSE rules and guidelines, schools should be 100% accessible. It doesn't mean that you have lift or ramp in just one building. Rather, the school should be 100% accessible. That means even the washroom should be accessible. If the child needs to be around in the school, even if she wants to go to the dance class or lab or anywhere, everywhere there should be ramps. But none of the schools in Dehradun, even I'm talking about the new schools. So after 4 years, when we came back, we were very sure and we had this in mind that now, when the times have changed and our country is doing so well and developing and doing so well in all the fields, so we were pretty sure that schools, I mean the new schools, will be all ready to take admission for a wheelchair user. But unfortunately, the sad story, we where we left Dehradun, where we left from, we were still there. We were stuck there only. I'm talking about the new schools. The infrastructure of new schools are not ready to. I mean,
And I'm just processing the fact that you had to put her in diapers because even the loos were not
absolutely yes,
friendly for the or accessible for the specially
yes.
able. Hope, I want to ask you, you are obviously a tough girl, right? You're a tough girl. You compete. You're competitive, and then you have to be put in diapers to use the loo. You have to be hand lifted. It must make you really angry and irritated, right? What did you
Yeah,
feel, Hope?
I did not feel nice because I don't like other people knowing that. So I did not like it.
Yeah. And now that you can't get a school to study in your home city, how does that make you feel?
I don't like that because I wanted admission in Dehradun only, which I am not, and I'm not getting any admission in Dehradun.
What do you want to say to people who are watching this? What do you want to say? What's your message?
I just want to say that now the children who are facing this, I don't want them to face the problem what I faced.
Yeah. Where are you now, Shilpi? Which city did you finally go to then?
So, ma'am, we were in Bangalore for TCS Marathon, which just happened last month. And while we were there, we thought that because we are in Bangalore, so let's explore schools in Bangalore. So we went to a couple of schools, and schools were so welcoming, and they were ready to do anything. They were ready to alter their infrastructure and everything. And we were so convinced that this is it. This is the place where we want our child to be in that whole accessible environment. And of course, that positive environment and schools are so welcoming.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's some happy sort of dimension to this story. Shilpi, I want to give you the last word. As a mom, what do you want to say to school administrators in Dehradun today? I mean, Dehradun is the education capital of India, right? It's got some of
Yes.
the best schools of the country. What is it that you want school administrators and education administrators to understand?
Ma'am, we went to a couple of schools. What we saw is, even when the schools are claiming that they are accessible, they are absolutely not. So one school here which has a ramp, the elevation of the ramp is so steep that a wheelchair user cannot use that ramp. And the lifts which they have in their school, they tell us that it's for their personal use because the owner lives on the top floor of the school. So it's just on papers that schools are accessible. What I want is that education department should audit all the schools in Dehradun. There must be 500 plus schools in
Yeah,
Dehradun. All the
yeah.
schools should be audited. And I am starting a campaign where I also will be going to all the schools and will try to put ramps in the schools. We have started with one school in Dehradun, which we are working on right now. We don't know how much we'll be able to take this forward because schools do not entertain. They will not entertain us. We know, especially after this event. So we don't know how much we'll be able to do. We'll try our best to cover as much school as possible. But I want just government to get into this matter and audit all the schools, and please do not give recognition to the schools which are not accessible, because it becomes a nightmare when you have to hand lift your child, when your child has to face that embarrassment of being lifted to the class and everywhere. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah, it is really bad situation.
Unacceptable. I hope, I want to give you the last word though. Your dreams for the future? What do you want to do in
I
5 years
want
from
to
now?
I want to go and represent India and participate in Paralympic.
Well, we wish you good luck and we're very sorry for what you've had to go through. And Shilpi, your campaign is one that has all our support. We'll follow it closely. Take care and remain hopeful, like your daughter Spirit represents. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
and
ma'am.
God bless.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
ma'am.
We started Mojo right here in this basement. Just 4 people, 4. And now we're about to hit our first 1 million subscribers. So this is to say thank you to all of you for your support, for your respect, and for your encouragement. We've always gone to where the story is. During the pandemic, when television's big anchors were hunkered down in their studios or at their homes, we hit the road. We traveled from Delhi to Kerala, covering 30,000 kilometers in our small car, reporting from inside ICUs and inside slum tenements. Whether it's flash floods or war zones, we've always put our boots on the ground. In fact, we're just back from Punjab, tailing the Khalistani fugitive Amritpal Singh. And through all of this, we have always put you, the people, first. In an age of partisan polarized media where most journalists are either chamcha ya morcha, we believe the story is sacred and the truth of the story is what matters. And now as we get ready for the next step, we need your help. Become a Mojo member and get first access to all our big interviews. Get a chance to ask our newsmakers questions. Get a chance to write and report for us for both our website and our channels. And also, interact with me and my colleagues directly through AMA sessions. Literally, ask me anything. Click on the join now right next to the subscribe button, and yes, also subscribe if you haven't yet, and become a Mojo member for just 159 rupees a month. Hope to see lots of you in our community. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.